Welcome in. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in on this Friday night. Welcome to the weekend. How are y'all doing? Welcome in, Rachel, Kiwi, Mate, Renovates. Welcome in, and I agree. They need much better cameras, man. Hey, Doug, how's it going? Welcome on in. Oh, goodness, guys. Welcome in. So, I hadn't been here a couple days. I was feeling a little under the weather. I have autoimmune disease, so occasionally my body goes into a little, well, it does whatever it wants. Anyway, my iron's been feeling a little low lately and has had me completely drained. Like I ain't felt like doing nothing. So I haven't done anything. So now that y'all know I ain't been doing nothing in the last couple days, recuperating, getting better. I feel much better today. I feel much better today. Have to make sure I get all my iron in. Y'all, it sucks to get low iron. My iron's gotten so low before I've had to go and get iron infusions done. It's something I've battled my entire life, so I can tell when it's starting to happen, and I know what I got to do to get it better. So, been doing that. So, any of y'all out there with autoimmune disease, I understand your struggle. All right. Aliens are everywhere, people. They have landed. Which I think a lot of us already kind of might have felt they had. Some of y'all might have been on the fence. Some may have been like, nah, never. That's a bunch of hogwash. Get out of here with that tall tale. We've been hearing these tall tales for decades, right? Decades. Man, they dropped a big bunch of documents. I was reading through some of that stuff and the reports that go back to like 1966, you know what I mean? And to see those things and now is crazy. It is so crazy. Um, wow, a lot's been going on this week. Hey, Jet, thank you. Yes, I am feeling better. My adrenals will crash if I'm not careful, right? With my type of autoimmune disease, I think it's that way for a lot of people with different autoimmune diseases because there's so many. But I have to have adrenal cocktails. It's just a concoction you make and drink. It's a whole thing. I do feel better. I'll tell you, when I start craving um, orange juice and ice, I know instantly my iron is dropping to a not so good level. So, but I'm getting better. You were just reviewing some of that stuff, Doug. So I got a couple of videos out of the documents too that were dropped on YouTube, and I also have the whole file. Right, I have not been downloading stuff from the file yet, but I've been going through there and reading some of the communications, and that stuff's intriguing to me as part of history. Um, and to see that people had a distrust of the government forever when it come to UFO sightings, right? Is it or isn't it? And the government's flat out denial for decades. Um, hey, real happy. I feel you. I feel you, real happy. Uh, I haven't been on here in a couple days. I was like, I miss my people. I gotta, even if we don't talk about anything, I'm just gonna go and talk to them. It says happy Friday Eve. Don't you mess with me. It is Friday. Is it Friday Eve where you are, Sajoy? Because I checked today. Y'all know I'm bad about not knowing what day it is. She trying to trick me. Uh-oh. Kitty cat alert. See, I knew this cat was sleeping like all day, crashed out like a queen on the bed, and I thought to myself, sure as shit, when I go live tonight, she's going to be awake. She needs to be nice because I literally just ordered her a brand new cat tree like 10 minutes before I went live. So be be grateful and get down. She's not moving. She's going to sit right here. Um, Oh, thank you, Happy. Checked in to see if I was okay. I just was so drained. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even feel like just moving around the house took all my energy. It's like I couldn't even think straight. You know what I mean? I don't want to come live when I'm tired and I can't even form a freaking thought. But I'm here. Simi says, salty and aliens. Well, well, well. Hey, I've always believed that they're out there. I used to be obsessed with ancient aliens, right? I watched that stuff so much. I made my cousin watch it with me until it freaked her out and she got scared. She's like, please stop making me watch this stuff. I was like, it's making you think, isn't it? We are not alone. I'm like, how can you deny it anymore? Isn't it weird, though, that all of these scientists are disappearing and they've all disappeared before this document drop? What's that got to do with anything? I don't know if it does. I'm curious now. Now I'm thinking, I already wondered if the aliens come and took them all for safekeeping because mankind cannot be trusted with knowledge. They do nefarious things with it versus doing good with it, right? So I'm like, well, maybe the aliens just come and got them all. Now I'm like, huh, maybe the government came and got them all. I don't know. Who knows? It's weird timing, isn't it? That they all go missing different times or whatever, and then we have this big document drop. What if they were going to be like disputing what was in the documents? I don't. Who knows? Can we trust our own government? Some say yes, and some say no. It depends on what circle you travel in. It depends on what topic, right? That's how I roll. It depends on our subject today. Do I? Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. Ugh. Okay, butterfly. All right, kitty cat, stop it. For some reason, quit now. Over the last couple of days, she's been obsessed with my headset cord. She used to never bother it. It's like tiny, it's light, it's not like it's big and bulky and in her face. It's just enough to catch her attention, though. I think it's this little black flappy thing that hangs off of it. Like, y'all can't even see what I'm talking about. Y'all are like, whatever. It was your weird cat. The scientists wanted quality color cameras to be used, and the Pentagon's not having it. Right? They're like, how can we conduct these studies and tell y'all what we're seeing on your imagery with your crappy cameras? It's like trying to pick a car out of a cat. Come on now, she's distracting me now. It's trying to pick a car as it flies by the Nest Cam or the Ring Cam, right? But we see how crappy those cameras all can be in the end. Uh Semi sharp, when are you not feral? When you are not feral, I will be worried. You know that. Like this cat is acting feral right now. She don't stop it. She gonna find herself out in the streets with the ferals. Good lord. Okay, that's it. That is it. Let me get rid of this little black thingy here and see if that stops her from being so interested here. Now, Miss Thing, what are you gonna do about it now? Now she'll probably jump up and get me because she's that kind of cat. She's a little vindictive. don't I do not trust this cat all the way. I'm just saying. Seems Area 51 earthquakes have stopped. Ooh, did they were they having earthquakes? Like, oh, this cat. I need a cat kennel for the cat. A cat distractor. Hey, I should probably order her one of those toys that I see people put on the floor, like the little It's electronic or whatever. It just rolls around for the cat to chase. That's what I need to get her, huh? One of those things. Something like that to distract her. Okay. We'll jump into these files. I really it's gonna be kind of like what do you guys want to see kind of show. Um, just before I went live a little while ago, rather, I noticed that two places had some new body cam footage that just dropped. I have not watched it, and it's the cops going to the call when Magnolia called the cops on JLR. Yeah, that last year Christmas or whatever they were arguing when he beat her up. That body cam footage has now been released, and that is out there. I haven't watched it yet. Of course, he's not there. It's just when the cops go to meet Magnolia and talk to her. And some more new stuff has come down in the Idaho 4 case. Not, well, we don't have anything new in the case, like no new documents have been unsealed or anything like that. But a lot's been said, right? The book, The Broken Plea, came out with Chris Whitcomb. He's went around several YouTube channels doing interviews. He's talked about the information that he was learning through documents that he obtained, things like that. Um, he cited Brent Turvey, expert for the defense, and Brent Turvey was going to do an interview on YouTube. It got canceled. It has been rescheduled, I believe, for the 11th. Yeah, May 11th. There'll be a new interview with the Brent Turvey. What is he? Forensic was his actual title. Uh, Whatever. I can't remember right offhand. Oh, forensic criminologist. He was for the defense expert. But in the about the leaks though, so the guy in the book, Whitcomb, he talks about Cyray, and Cyray was the defense expert that was going to come in about the cell phone data, right? And uh, a lot was said about Cyray. We actually got to hear him testify in a hearing, pre-trial hearing for Brian Koberger's case, leading up to everything that was going on. Um, we saw some of what he was doing at the hearing, right? And a lot of people put a lot of weight on what Cyray was going to come out and say during trial. Um, Cyray is now due to speak at, what is it, the Europe Forensics Europe Expo to be held this summer. Well, coming up soon, I think next month, the end of next month, June and July, in Europe, the Forensics Europe Expo show. And inside of the show, they're going to have a presentation called the Blue Light Show. In the Blue Light Show, Cyray will be giving a presentation called The Truth Line, Behavioral Fusion and the Validation of Evidence. Well, when people first heard about that, they thought it was going to be another Idaho 4 book. But it's not, right? It's not. What it is, basically, is like I have a preview of it too. I haven't even poured through it all. Like I got a 40-page preview. But it is an academic book, if you will, for law enforcement, right? About the forensics in the Koberger case. And more or less selling people on what he does at his company, Vernos Corporation. Um, and Cy has always pushed the programs that he develops and runs, right, to read the data and things of that nature. In one court hearing, Was it a hearing? At the end of the hearing, Judge Hippler even called him a conspiracy theorist because of what he was claiming about the FBI. He made some bold claims about the FBI, but I'm not so sure they weren't untrue. I was never convinced he wasn't being honest about what he saw. And I'll tell you what he claimed he saw. So there's a big deal in the Idaho 4 case about, do we have timing advance records or do we not? And after a certain point, they began collecting AT&T timing records where that kind of data really wasn't kept before, according to AT&T. But Cy Ray says during one investigation, no names, because I have no clue, he didn't say, FBI gave him some documents and said, okay, we need this analyzed, right? Cy opens it up. He has no idea what he's looking at. That's what he said. Before he could actually try to figure it out, he gets a call back from the FBI. Oopsie, takesy backsy. That's confidential and you weren't supposed to see it. We need it back right now and destroy any and all copies that you may have made. He's like, I never made a copy. I was like, sure you didn't. He said that's how he knows they were lying about not having timing records. No one can verify Cy Ray ever saw that, ever. Was that just his interpretation? We don't know. So that was part of the challenge there with Cy Ray. Cy Ray's testimony was kept out of court a couple of times. So there was like a little bit of controversy with him as far as that. He was claiming some kind of 7-minute discrepancy in the cell phone data but he also came into the hearing and said that he reserved the right to change his mind at any time during this whole thing as evidence came forward, right? So he said that right out of the gate. I reserve the right to change my mind. Anne broke her silence just enough to say, what are you doing, Turvey? Brent Turvey, you unprofessional guy, you, right? You signed an NDA. You were part of the gag order, whether you want to admit it or not, you were. But right now, that gag order was lifted, regardless of what anybody out there tells y'all. There's this one big platform who is a huge pro-burger platform who just last week said that the gag order had not been lifted. Where you been? Gag order's been lifted. Anybody can talk about it now. But the defense did say in the beginning they weren't going to come out and talk about it, right? Well, not so fast, because Ann Taylor's going to be talking about it, but she's going to be doing a presentation to a bunch of lawyers, and you got to pay to get in there. And it's all going to be talking about the Brian Koberger case. Mistakes made, not made, legal stuff. So that there's that part. And then Cy is going on his little blue light show forensic European expo thing. It's interesting though, because this truth line book that he's doing, behavioral fusion and the validation, behavioral fusion is something he has created, right? A term he's coined, kind of like what's that doctor call that when you want to off your family member? The elimination. I forgot what Gary calls it. In fact, there's a call-in show happening right now, and I'm so close to calling in, but I thought better of myself. Elimination murder. Yeah, they all want to coin a new phrase, right, in their industries. So he's over here doing behavioral fusion, and it kind of sounds like a little bit of what Heather Bernhardt talks about when you listen to her talk about celebrate life patterns and things of that nature. It's super interesting that people, I think, want to come out and talk about the case, even those that were involved in like the investigation, and I don't blame them. And I don't mind it if they do. I don't mind that Turvey, whatever, even if I don't agree with what he's saying, he's got the right to say it. Ray has that right. Everybody has the right. But why does it feel like all these great lengths are being gone to protect Brian Koberger? I don't get it. You know what I mean? And Taylor's upset with Brent Turvey. Yeah. And I get that part too, because him coming out and saying the things that he has been saying um, have really confused a lot of good people in the communities that may not know the Idaho 4 case that well, or do know it that well and absolutely believe that the guy didn't do it. That's fine too. But nobody has still come out and give me a real good reason why Brian Koberger would say I did it if he didn't. You know, kind of like over there in the Delphi situation, we understand why Rick Allen may or may not have confessed a whole bunch of times under serious doses of medication, right? Brian Koberger, none of that happened, but it kind of just dirties up, it continues to dirty the water, and it continues to put, um, the families they can just ignore all this and don't look at it. But what it does in the legal, from a legal standpoint with cases, right, and the leaks, because the Whitcomb, who wrote the book, The Broken Plea, absolutely had leakers. Dateline had leaks. Turvey could have been leaking stuff all along for all anybody knows. And when this all began, when the leak was discovered, right, because the Dateline came out May of 2025. After that came out and there was a hearing, and they even, or it was a document, was in the document, and it said specifically to look into also the defense, right? People are like, why would the defense leak anything? That was a good question, but I also wondered from the beginning, was it somebody that ever worked on the defense at some point in time, right? At some point in time. Um, because maybe they weren't happy with the way things were progressing, you know what I mean, with the case. People were leaking stuff to Steve Gonzalez early on. That feels like it came from within the department. I'm talking about Moscow. What Whitcomb claims what he received, what Dateline claimed they received, all FBI, every bit of it. It wasn't Moscow PD, unless they took what FBI gave them and leaked it. Because the FBI, they're just there in the background, right? They're in the background. It's not their case, not their show. Certainly not their shit show. But here we are in the background. We're doing this and we're doing that, right? Um, the Dateline leak was big because it was a lot came out that we had not seen before. Things we trickled out in Dateline shows, a couple of shows prior to that, over the years, but then that one was like the big one, right? Um, no, he can't appeal it. People think that this technically he can appeal, but I don't even know if it would get heard. Technically he can, but technically he can't, right? A lot of times with these plea deals, um, look at Rex Heuermann's. He made a plea deal, but he's agreed to talk to the behavioral unit analysis. Koberger pleads out and has to say nothing, no allocution, no nothing. But he also agreed not to come back and fight them on appeal. And that's huge. You can't, from a legal standpoint, that is part of the plea deal. So technically speaking, no, he can't. But legally speaking, I think he can. But the fight would be so hard. Do you know what I mean? You would have to have total ineffective counsel. And I don't think anybody, no matter what they say, can try to get Ann Taylor for ineffective counsel. It's just not going to happen. All the noise he wants to make about the sheath being mislabeled and chain of custody, a lot of experts have now said, not so fast, sir, on both sides. In fact, an attorney on Twitter, she doesn't talk about this case a lot anymore. And it's not one of it's not Andrea. It's not one of the more familiar ones you guys are probably familiar with. She used to tweet a lot about the Brian Koberger case and a lot for the defense, right? The second Turby came out with this BS, I mean, not Turby, but Whitcomb, about the chain of custody and the sheath, she immediately put out a tweet and said, this guy's got it all. And she's a defense attorney. She's a criminal defense attorney who went hard for Brian Koberger. Like, she and I had some very interesting conversations because we were on opposite sides of the fence, but we could have conversations, right? And I always loved that about her. But she's like, not so fast. That's not how it works. That is an outdated system. You're talking about things like this, and then all these things. So, and if Ann Taylor had thought for a second, and I'm somebody who read every single document in the case, not just a few of them, every damn one of them, watched every single hearing. If Ann Taylor thought for a second there was a problem with the chain of custody with that sheath, she would have put up the biggest fight you ever saw. And she didn't touch it with a 10-foot pole because there was nothing there, right? She'd gotten laughed at court. You're trying to keep the sheath out over a label that has a barcode attached where everything that went through it, right? Everything. It could have been a huge deal if there had been a misstep in the chain of custody, if they didn't know where it was for a day, right? Or a few hours even. There's your breakdown in chain of custody. If it's not like that, there's nothing you can do. There's no oversight in this case, though. Here's the thing about it is there were so many people for so long going hard for Ann Taylor. And as this case continued to progress and it looked like she wasn't getting anywhere, like she wasn't like getting the indictment thrown out, she didn't get evidence suppressed, she didn't get this, she didn't, people are then like, oh, well, she's not a good lawyer. She's not doing her job. She must be working for the prosecution. I mean, I heard all of that from people who applauded her, started to turn on her, right? It was crazy. It's crazy. They shouldn't have to look far to find their leakers because I think their leakers are going to be mostly FBI agents or either former. According to Chris Whitcomb, he's a former FBI agent now writing a book. He says his friend was a former FBI agent who gave him all the files that he had access to. Then as he moves through, he gets his other, Turvey and all the rest who agree to talk to him. We do got a video. I do have that video. Butterfly, where Enton. So I got an article too. On May 14th in May of 2025 is when that Dateline aired. In May, was it 14th or the 15th is when the documents were into the docket. The court ordered the documents record hold for both prosecution and for the defense. They were ordered to retain their emails, their texts, their phone logs, all of it. They had the deadline of May 22nd, I think it was, of 2025 to submit a list of all individuals, past and present, who had access to leaked digital files. By the time June rolled around, their special investigation expanded. Both sides filed notice of compliance. Then you go up to August 4th. The documents in this case were ordered unsealed, but the investigation continued into the leaks. Some of us wondered, well, how far will they do this? And it's like not even going to be. Uh, some are saying like a misdemeanor charge. I think it was Cy Ray they quoted as saying the most expensive misdemeanor in Idaho history. Um, People often wonder the biggest problem with the leaks is how it affects jury pools going forward, right? That's the only real danger to leaking stuff. Um, but when people can't get information, that's when leaks start to occur. And I had to wonder, I even said, well, FBI doesn't like to hold press conferences. And I'm sure there are agents who get tired of, man, I wish I could tell them the truth, but we can't. Or, man, I wish they would stop throwing shade at us because really this is what it's like, and because they can't go out and do it, they're like, let me leak some information instead. Why not? Am I going to put FBI agents on some pedestal like, they're never going to do anything wrong? Not so fast. We got rogue agents running around everywhere. We got Timu agents running around everywhere. We got former agents everywhere. And that's a scary thought. Like there's a ton of former FBI agents, and some I trust and some I do not. The top one, I do not. Something's up. I don't know what it is. I don't know you, but damn, you're just a little, he's a little much for me. I don't know what's up with that guy. Like, calm down with your eyes. Calm down. No, there was no trial. Yeah, we didn't get to trial. We were 7 weeks away from a trial that we had been expecting for nearly 3 years. And Brian Koberger was geared up and ready to fight for his life, right? Death penalty on the table. She couldn't even get that removed. Idaho checked themselves. They got, that big fiasco with Lori Vallow, prosecutorial misconduct and all, got the DP taken slap off the table for Lori Vallow in Idaho. They're like, we're not going to do that again with this Brian Koberger fella. So it was on the table. They never once got it taken off and had found no issues that she could battle to get that done. So yeah, he ended up taking a plea deal at like I said, 7 weeks before trial. If you thought for a second you could beat these charges, look, I don't care if the death penalty's on the table or not. You're going to die in prison. Your life without parole or a death penalty, you're not coming out the doors, right? So I didn't. It would if it was me, death penalty wouldn't make me take a plea deal, just so you won't put me in a chair or in a firing squad. I'll deal with that day when it comes, but today I'm going to fight for my life, right? Today I'm fighting. So if there had been no death penalty on the table, just life without parole, would he have taken the plea deal? Insert mother. I think mother had a lot to do with his decision to take the plea deal, and a lot of y'all who know me know that. But I'm telling you, if it was me, death penalty or not, I'm fighting today for my life, and I'll deal with it tomorrow. Well, if Santa didn't want a DP case, he didn't have to charge the DP then. That's the thing. It's not that complicated, right? He kind of had to take the death penalty because that was such a gruesome crime. And if people don't like the death penalty in their state, vote that shit out. I'm in Florida. I thought it was the way of the land for years until I grew up and realized, no, people don't care for that. I just thought it was what I never gave it a second thought. I still don't. It's a big contentious thing for a lot of people. I don't think about it because I don't want to. I'll be honest. I don't care. It's not my I'm not Jesus. I'm not the judge and I'm not none of that, right? But he didn't have to go for the death penalty if he didn't want to. But sometimes the crime lends itself where you just have to if you're in a death penalty state. And if the death penalty is going to come in and complicate things so much in these trials, then do away with it. It's that simple. I feel like sometimes the easiest solution is not America's go to solution. Like, no, 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 we got to complicate it. And then we're going to spend 10 years negotiating it. So crazy, isn't it? Well, yeah, I mean, he pressure. That's what I'm saying, though, Simi. I'm in the death penalty state. We are going to demand the death penalty when the crime is bad enough. So that's a given, in my opinion, right? Um, I would have charged the death penalty too, especially if I walked in that house and saw 4 victims in the state that they were in. I wouldn't have hesitated if I'm in a death penalty state. See, the topic is so big, you know what I mean? Like, but that's the only reason in my mind Koberger took a plea deal, because his mom said they're gonna find you guilty. The risk is too big. If they find you guilty, you'll be put to death, possibly before a firing squad, and I don't want to know about that. Chances are she'd have been gone by the time that happened. But again, it's a distraction type of subject to me. Um, Bill Thompson caved in the worst way possible when he allowed a plea deal without an allocution. I'd have said, hell no, you're not getting a plea deal. I'll see your ass in the courtroom. That's what I'd have said. Then I'd have probably spit in the fucking dirt and kicked it and walked away. Huh. And I don't even live in Idaho, but I've seen movies. Shove that up your butts is what I'd tell them. How about that? Have a good day. Well, Rachel, you are from Idaho. Wouldn't y'all expect it? You're in a death penalty state. It's a gruesome crime. You would expect the death penalty. Like, to me, that's a conversation that is just, it wouldn't even happen in Florida, right? It's, oh, they did that and that's horrible. Death penalty, their ass. We'll figure it out later. We were going to try to put Stefan Stearns to death for what he did to Madeline Soto. He'd been the first man in the state to go to death for what he did to a little girl. Too bad they didn't take it to trial. Huh, Stefan Stearns, you fucking prick. So he got to avoid the death penalty by taking the plea deal. So, and he agreed that he would not file um, for appeal. Now, why would the prosecutor agree to that? Right? People are more pissed about the allocution. I think so, Rachel. Why would the prosecutor agree to that, right? Okay, fine. Well, the prosecutor says, "Oh, well, he'll just lie. We wouldn't get the truth." How do you know, Santa? How do you know? Hell, you got, you know, the BAU is going to talk to Human over there. Yes, Kevin Fixler did do like he did an article in the Statesman, Idaho Statesman, and then Brian Enton interviewed him uh in in his last video, I think it was. But I have a let me I don't want to watch that whole video though. Let me see what I this is one thing I do have. Let me move by. I want to learn more of this. And plus, Cyray has a program called Candor Suite. I want to do a little more looking at, and I want to read some of that truth line. There's stuff about Koberger in there. We're going to look at that. And this UFO stuff. My God, I need to finish pouring through that too. It's going to take a minute. A few friends are also looking through stuff. Some of those videos that we'll look at the video. It's wild. I should have put a poll up. Do you believe in the UFOs? Allo fucking cution, brah. My friend did not stutter, did she? We're gonna force that allocution of that asshole. I need to get me a Brian Koberger voodoo doll, like my Stefan Stearns doll. Look at those weird ass eyes. People like, don't make fun of his eyes. There's stuff wrong with him. Like, for politically correct bastards, there's something wrong with him, all right? He went into a house and butchered 4 people. There's something fucking definitely wrong. It ain't right. Ugh. The interview we were just talking about, I think it just came out either today. I think today. I feel like it's been a long day. Last 2 days. I feel like when I don't go live and I'm just doing nothing, like if I don't feel good, something, whatever, I consume a lot. Like I'm just laying in bed listening to stuff. I was listening to a podcast last night at some point yesterday, and as soon as I turned it on, I'm like, oh, I want to listen to this. It should be a good conversation. I don't remember nothing else. I was out like a light. Like shit. Butterfly drops me the link. I'm like, yeah, I went to watch that and I fell asleep. Like, I'm gonna have to get my ass up and not lay down when I watch something every time. Okay, so this is an article, and then we'll move on. Um, a criminal investigation regarding leaks. And I guess all of this came back up because of the broken plea and the stuff that Whitcomb was saying, what Turvey was saying, because Turvey makes the comment that he knows the defense team was being investigated for the leaks because twice he was contacted to be interviewed about the alleged leaks, right? So this has brought all this back up, and Fixler went and did a little investigating. Fixler investigation. So it looks like now there is a guy named Matthew. Is it Tadikin? Is a veteran member of the sheriff's office from Ada County is now investigating the leak. I'm just curious if there's some of the same people that have leaked out to Whitcomb. And I'm still clocking that whole thing. Boy, that's a shit show. And I know a few of my community members, you're venturing out there and you're taking peeks. That's fine. I'm taking a peek, but I don't, I haven't seen one thing yet coming out of the tall tales that I'm like, there you go. There you go. Nothing yet. I've seen a lot of things that have been proven to be wrong in Whitcomb's book by people who are well schooled in the case, who are pro burgers. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful out there on them streets and be super careful where you consuming your information. Because boy, it's got a good spin on it. Let me just say that. A criminal investigation regarding leaks that violated a gag order in the murder case against Brian Kohberger was opened and remains ongoing after it was referred to law enforcement, according to a report. The criminal investigation is focusing on the possible source of an alleged leak to NBC's Dateline, which produced an episode on the murders with information that was not known to the public, sources told the Idaho Statesman. An investigator with the Ada County Sheriff's Office, the agency probing the source of the leak, asked for interviews with people who had access to digital files that appeared in a May 2025 episode about the murders. That would be the Dateline. Turvey, a forensic scientist who was working with Kohberger's defense team, told Fox News Digital that he has been asked twice for an interview by investigators. Well, Turvey's just like a messy guy, isn't he? Like, I'm gonna go out here and talk smack about everything and everyone. That that really doesn't look very professional. A detective with Ada County Sheriff's Office reached out to me twice for an interview, stating that he was tasked with investigating the NBC leak. And Taylor also gave me permission via email to speak with law enforcement just over a month after they first reached out to me by phone and email. So they are investigating her office for related criminal charges. Like, not they're investigating her office as possible leaks or whatever. You know, he's outright, they're investigating her office for related criminal charges. Dude, you might be the reason. Ann Taylor must have really made him mad by not believing in his theory 100% about the crime scene being staged. I wonder if he's wrote any letters to the dog and mother tonight. Syray, a digital forensic expert, just I just pictured Butterfly saying, "Mother's gonna read those letters out loud to Scout." Mother's like, "Come here, Scout. We got another letter from Burns. Burns. Burns." Yes, Simi. Dr. Brent Turvey says that the Idaho 4 murders were staged to the point Kaylee's face was even turned and positioned a specific way. Like, fucking freak. Syray, like, prove to me it was staged. In what sense, sir? We got his report. We've read it here. He made big accusations. Syray, a digital, that's why a lot of folks over there are hanging on his every word. Do you go over there and watch the defense rest, right, Simi? Aren't they talking about some of this stuff? Yeah, that's who Turvey is. Mr. It was a staged crime scene. I don't know who staged it. It's probably Murphy the dog. Syray, a digital forensic expert and former police officer who also worked for Kohberger's defense team, told the Statesman he has spoken with investigators looking into the alleged leak more than once. I'm sure they talked to all of them, especially all the experts that was defense and prosecution reached out to analyze different things, right? Prosecution had a lot of the FBI analyzing like the cast and all that, but they had their like Miss Sutton, for instance, Pauline Sutton. Um, so everybody who had anything to do with with it had to be talked to. So again, Kansai had he had been given evidence as well to review. Um, it's probably the most expensive misdemeanor case in the history of Ada County, he goes on to say. Trying to investigate this was probably tough. I mean, if it's one person leaking and not like a conspiracy of two or three people, they're like, hey, we're having coffee one day. You're like, you know what? We're sick of this shit. Let's just start leaking stuff. Okay. They're not going to talk because whatever, maybe. But how will you get to the bottom of who did it? They all had to preserve their emails and their text messages. So if you get somebody's emails, you're going to see the communication between them and the Dateline producer, right? And you would think um, that would be easy to figure out unless they deleted everything. Then they're like, oh, deleted files. But it's been a minute since they've been looking into all of this. I popped into one the other day, Semi, because I thought that Taya was there, but she wasn't. But they were talking a little bit about this, but I realized quickly where they were, what they were talking about. Let me just leave it at that. One sheriff's office investigator reached out in April to an attorney for two of the victims' families. An administrative investigation by the court. Now the family's attorneys are it was for the Laramies, which was Karen, which is Maddie's mom, and for the Chapin family as well. Everybody always wants to say the Gonzalez family, but they're doing other things. And there it goes into a timeline. The May 2025 Dateline episode included surveillance video from near the home where 4 university students were killed. The very first leak in this case was not made to anybody in the mainstream media, and it wasn't to Dateline. It was straight to somebody on social media, and it all started with the leaked Linda Lane footage, where the owner of the apartments allegedly, according to what I saw in the conversation, sold it for $1,000 and she distributed it out to YouTube. Nobody wanted to believe it was real for the longest time, but it was absolutely the real deal. Then Steve Gonzalez leaks a screenshot from the neighbor's house at 1112 and says, here's the intersection that this camera can see, but we didn't see a car in the screenshot. We didn't see the actual footage from that until Dateline. Leaks began in this case a long time ago. Defense Diaries has been covering Idaho 4. I have no clue what they've been covering. They covered I thought they covered a lot of trials and different, I don't know. They've been what have they reported on lately? He never really got into the Idaho 4 case a lot. People tried to pull him in the beginning, to the Pro-Burger side, and he's like, no, have you seen Richard Allen's PCA? Bob kept trying to point that out, and people didn't want to hear it. Finally, he's like, y'all can have that Koberger dude. I'm going to Rick Allen's defense because that's where it's at. Preach it, Sir Bob. And no one realized back then just how much that was really going to hold true in the future. I don't know what they've done in the case. FBI cell phone tower data obtained by Dateline allegedly showed that Koberger's cell phone pinged nearly a dozen times. That was in their very first episode. God, long before that big leak episode, I'll say that. Because people were like, a dozen times? That can't be true. That's a lie. I'll never forget it. Coverage to an area within 100 feet of 1122 King Road, where the four university of students were killed. The alleged late night drives took place starting back in July of 2022 and continued through mid August of 2022. Um, so it just goes on to talk about the investigation still ongoing, that they now have a guy out of Ada County investigating because, Moscow don't need to investigate. And the FBI don't need to. The FBI doesn't care. They're long gone. They're not going to. They're like, come with your 2E requests. We don't give out information. And if you got something we got, then somebody leaked it, but we don't know who. Yeah, Bob's always had a lot of good Delphi coverage, though. I mean, they put the spotlight on where it needed to be during all that time. I know how Bob felt about the Koberger case because I've been in Koberger case since before he was arrested, right? Like I didn't like just come into the Koberger case or whatever, the Idaho case. Um, but Bob always, and I remember the shift. There come a point with this case, people had to jump off the train wreck or steady the course. And a lot of us were seeing all of it, and Bob was seeing it, all the accusations that were being leveled out on the YouTube streets, all the WSU mom, Kim of it all, everything. We saw it all. And we were like, dudes, where y'all come again with this guy ain't the guy? Where's this coming from besides pure speculation and rumor is all it was. There was never one thing that could back up to show us this may not be the guy. You know what I mean? Like nothing. Not one thing, never. Not like in the Delphi case where we saw things, right? Things that didn't make sense. Rulings that didn't make sense from the judge, hearings that didn't go. It was just all the things that you look for in the red flags. I never saw them in Idaho, except for the IgG stuff being used, and they had to figure that out. But hell, that's yeah, they're not hiding it anymore, are they? They're not hiding it anymore. They're like, it's here to stay. So much so, we're going to throw it in your face in the Nancy Guthrie case and tell you we're going to perform IgG on a random glove found out in the open space, and y'all are all going to be clapping and applauding, going, yes. Oh, let down. He's a restaurant worker. Aw. Without ever asking how they figured that out. I don't want to live in that world. It's terrifying. Hey, Hawkeyes, welcome in. I don't know. I don't watch Defense Rest a lot, whatever that her name. Yeah, but I think they're jumping into the Idaho stuff. I know I'll watch that interview with Turby when it's on what's it? I say the 11th. It was rescheduled for. And remember, right before their first interview was scheduled, that's when Ann Taylor came out with the statement saying that, what's Brent Turby doing? Basically, he signed an NDA and he's still bound by all of that, by that agreement. And he's like, no, I'm saying what I want. So it's going to be interesting to see what he has to say. And why is all this like um, still such a big deal? You know, Idaho is yet to release all the documents in this case. They're taking, and why is it taking so long? Don't sit there and say over and over, well, there's so many documents. Hell, you've known that for years. You knew they were all going to come out eventually. All documents have redacted names and phone numbers. So it's not rocket science. I mean, talking to them like they act like it is, but so what's taken so long? And what is the holdup? And how mad is the judge at all these actors? Like, all of y'all need to get it together, you bunch of children. Books flying off shelves. We got this and that going. Um, Interesting too, because in the a lot of the like the evidence in the Kroberger case was going to be like a lot of cell phone tower dump information, and that when I was looking at the geofencing stuff with the Supreme Court, they're also challenging tower dumps now, and I'm like, oh, holy shit! We got information saved on that. We're gonna have a whole show on that, um, because evidence of what they can allow and not allow in court is huge, right? All right, let's take. Y'all want to take a look at some of that UFO stuff? I was even on it. You were on panel tonight, Hawkeyes. Yay! Over on Rocks, y'all were live. Okay, I'll have to go check you out, girl. We'll have to come check that out. I was looking at some of the different things, the accusations, that they're like laying out there in this book and everything. And I just hope that people take everything with a grain of salt. People are still going to believe what they want to believe in the end, no matter what. Uh, Thank you, Hawkeyes, for coffee stock. Yes, and thank you. Like yesterday, I went and bought like a really big container of coffee. I was like, I always like to try to get the big one because I don't like being out of coffee or running low and realizing you're out when you're like, I forgot. No, no, no. That's always the top of my list. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I do. Do y'all want to watch the body cam with Magnolia and JLR situation before we move on to some UFO stuff? Let's do. Are you working on a studio? I want to work on a studio. Like for real, Hawkeyes. Unlike Trisha, taking me a while to collect equipment. Unlike Trisha, you mean, girl, elaborate, because are we talking about the same Trisha? Do we need to have a late night um gossip session, y'all? Simi's in a feisty feral mood. Let's keep her that way. I like a feisty feral. A feisty feral Simi is a fun Simi. She's had to erase several comments. Honey, the mods know whatever we just overlook you. You ain't trying to hurt nobody. Okay, Rach, we're gonna do it. Yes. Okay, Hawkeyes, I've got to get caught up on all things web sleuthy going on. Like I for real do, because I'm ready I need that popcorn session. Maybe tomorrow night. Ooh, we should start a new show. Let's see. Like like a like a coffee and gossip session, but not call it that. We need a good name. Hawkeyes ain't a grifty McGrifter. Let's do that. Let's do like run a show and say, I'm out of coffee. Could y'all please donate to my coffee fund? I can't live without my coffee. I got to have it. Or some stupid, like that one guy that time, Butterfly and I were in this community. I swear, y'all, we saw a community pay for a mortgage, utility bills, groceries. I don't even know, field trips, all then a 2 month span. This was all going on, and it just continued to get worse and worse. It's like, oh, it's, if somebody has like I don't know, a special project and they tell y'all about it or they share something with you, whatever, but just trying to get you to fund their life is like wild. To me, it's wild. Now, if a community wants to fund something together that we y'all do together, like I see some that do it for documents or do it for different things, that's one thing. But like to come on here and say, I want to build a studio in the backyard this summer, right? We need stuff. Does Trisha need a roof? I know something about a roof and finances and some lady that passed away, and so I've got to get caught up. I haven't even watched much of what Jolene's done lately or the Olaps. Ugh, okay. Butterfly wants a she shed. I do too. Well, this my son's out there, but it's not a she shed, obviously, but it can be converted so quickly and easily. And I think I got him talked into it. My stepmom had a nice one, just a small one, but it was so, so cool. Could put me a little mini fridge out there, put me my coffee pot out there. Shit, I'd stay in that thing. I'd probably build me a little tiny house. I like tiny spaces. I like smaller spaces, right? I don't want lots of space. I have anxiety. I got to be confined. I like it small spaces. I bet you do have a cool front porch, Hawkeyes. I am that way with my outdoor space. I love my visually. It's got to be calming around me and all the things, right? Aesthetically pleasing. It's super important to me to be. I love my outside time. A me shed, exactly, Butterfly. My son's like, well, what would you do out there with it? Would you gonna live in it? I was like, no. Well, I might. And he's like, what? Y'all get on my nerves. I'm going to the shed. I'm already I'm already out there a lot anyway, chilling. Cause right there by it's the shed at the pole barn, and they got the big overhang. That's where my table and all sits outside. Okay, so there were two. Let's see. Plunder has a video, and I think Nerdy. I think they're the same though. Let me get this to. Okay. I wonder if she's got all of them. Let me check something real quick if they're all on this one. So I think there's a couple. Let's see. This one is going to be from December 25th, which was the day after Christmas Day, the day after Christmas, the day Christmas Day when she called the police. Okay, let's see. I think it says, okay, 5 videos, 2 are totally no audio, especially the transport of Jamie. I'm guessing that's to the hospital. First responding officers say Jamie not answering the phone. They're trying to find her room. Okay, so. And Plunder always has editing on her videos, so there'll be stuff on the screen as well. We'll just go with hers. Okay, again, this is from December 25th when Magnolia called the police on JLR. Oh, guys, I'll have to get you over here sometime and chat with me. By the way, she mentions that I named Trisha Trasha. I can't. Shit. All right. Yeah, I am very curious as to what all has been going on with Miss Trisha from the Web Sleuths lady. I am aware of it, but I don't know all of it. So I'm curious. Have we ever, let me see something here. Let me check something. I don't think so. Let me. There's the link to the Plunder video. Thank you, Hawkeyes. Send me an email, saltysleuth@gmail.com. Okay. Um, Topic JLR. I should put myself in timeout right now because I'll probably talk a lot of shit about that little creep. Talk away, girlfriend. We don't care. He is a fucking creep. Out there now chasing storms. Like, what are you doing, dude? You've been, look, I've been aware of you for years. I don't normally watch JLR. The dude, little man blocked me, little man 2, because little man is to Petro. He blocked me on the Twitter a long time ago for asking a freaking question when he was throwing a lot of shade at Dylan Mortensen when nobody else was but JLR. And then he dipped out of the whole conversation once he lit the fire. That's how that happened with Dylan Mortensen. All the drama started with him. We cannot air any of the Barry Morphew hearings. Why? Because the judge said we could not do it without permission. JLR decided he didn't give a flying fuck what the judge said, and he aired the hearing. Guess what? Now we're banned from any of it. Barry Morphew gets to have a whole ass hearing and trial in the dark thanks to JLR Investigates. She was going to let us in the courtroom for trial, but she was very strict about her rules and court conduct. JLR thumbed his nose at every bit of that and went ahead and aired that hearing anyway. And immediately the judge shut it all down. And it states that in the court document. Now, a lot of folks don't care what court documents have to say about JLR's little ass self, but a lot of us already knew he was a piece of shit, right? Who's out for one thing and one thing only: clicks, views, and your dollar, right? Your dollar, your dollar, your dollar. But yeah. Didn't he yell at a missing kid's family? he pretended it was the whole bunch of Sandy Hook stuff, right? Where he pretended to be related to Adam Lanza. Was that what it was? I got the whole thing about it. It's sickening. JLR's done some really sick, twisted shit before. And people want to forgive people like that. They need to ask themselves more questions, right? There are people on YouTube now who are apparently mad at each other and mad about who knew what and who didn't do what. Here's the thing. You've always known he was a piece of shit, right? It what took so long? Why would you be friends with somebody you knew was even capable of doing stuff like that? Now they're reformed, they're not like that anymore. When he was outside of Nancy Guthrie's house and people were trying to say bad things about JLR, people would take up for him. Oh, he's changed. He's not like that anymore. He's really a good guy. He's learned his lesson. Okay, well, he's beating up on women Christmas Day, just this past Christmas. All right. Okay. So we'll let this play. I am going to put myself on mute for a moment and run to the restroom while it starts out. I'll come back on in just a few minutes. If the puppy needs to go out, I'm going to run her out real quick, but I'll let this play. Now, like she said, some of it will have silent parts, but I'm not sure when those come up. But it'll be obvious when they do. And of course, she'll have her watermark there on the screen. But I'll be if I take the puppy out for a quick walk, I'll be in chat with you guys while it's playing. All right, I'll see you in a sec. Well, let me get it up to the point where we can.
I saw some movement.
Okay, there we go.
What?
100 miles away.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really far.
Allegedly, he's 100 miles away.
He's what?
100 miles away, allegedly. Fire department! There's another gun that was like that here.
They just said he's allegedly 100 miles away, and they were talking about JLR. Yeah, it was muted on the body cam. So that's what she says. There's going to be breaks in the audio where it is muted, but I think she'll notate that on the screen. This is Plunder's video, and that's what that was. I went ahead and got it to fast forwarded now, so now it should be fine. But if y'all hear it go silent while I'm away for a moment, that's what's going on.
This is Colorado, I know. Sure it's all this one?
This is all one unit. All season sugar.
I saw some movement. There's something up here. What?
Someone called 911 here. Can you come to the door and talk to us? Are you the only one here? Okay. You guys are both good? Okay.
There's definitely other units.
Is there?
Yeah, there's like Wenatchee, Yukon.
Oh, weird. I thought it was all one.
She's in the Shenandoah unit.
Oh,
Wenatchee, Yukon. I don't see
This
Shannon.
is not how this is supposed to be set up.
She's not answering the phone either.
We're trying to do it for the right one.
Okay, 29 Rubicon. Are you still on the phone with the RP? Received. And you verify the number and the call is the RP's phone number?
This is
Received. We're not getting any answer at the building nor answer on the phone.
I thought when it came out, I thought it was going to be the RV part. Is that what you guys thought it was going to be?
No, we drove. We're like, oh, the cops are in front of you. We don't see tire tracks in here. So we drove fast and we're like, we'll wait. It's like, you still don't know when he actually left.
He's going to come back and he's done.
Well, she's not answering the phone. So. It's fine.
So the boyfriend is the one that had the white compass, and they said he left.
Yeah, he left last night.
Oh, he left last night.
And he's allegedly 100 miles away. Allegedly. Rumoredly.
Hey guys.
Howdy.
Cool.
You the only one in this building on this side?
What's that?
You the only people on this side of the building?
There's people upstairs.
Okay. The Shannon Grove suite upstairs?
The Wenatchee.
Come on in.
Fire department.
Hello. Hi. You guys call 911?
I did not. No.
911 here. Okay.
No. Do you need an event entrance?
No, we're the Shannon Ghost with you.
If you go to the door, 6948 is the door code upstairs.
6948. 6948.
6948.
Manager.
Okay. Thank you.
Doc? Maybe over there. What's that?
Received. Thank you. We're trying our best to get answers at this point.
Are you the one that got hurt? Are you okay? No, yeah. Let's get you checked out. No,
We can go back upstairs if that's where you're at
Yeah.
and just get out of here.
You're alone in here, right? Have you talk with the medics first, and then you and I afterwards, just so you know my body camera will be recording the entire.
Oh yeah, what's going on? Let's just have you take a seat on the bed or somewhere comfortable and
You all coming in or no?
Yes, sir.
Oh, she just wants the door closed.
Yeah.
So what happened? Okay. Okay. Does he drive a white Jeep? You drive a car here? The white Jeep. Your only form of transportation. In the parking lot. No, there's a white Jeep out.
They always take out far too
You
much.
leave.
It's like, why?
Here for it. That's what we're here for.
She was
I'm
saying last
sorry.
night.
I'm sorry.
When are you guys scheduled to leave here?
Are you wanting to go up to the hospital all day?
It's like, why?
Would you like to go to the hospital to get checked out with them? Just to kind of make sure that there's nothing else that could be injured. Well, the problem with anything that's broken is the longer that you wait, the injury starts to try to heal, and then they get to do more damage to the injury by re-breaking it and moving it around after it's healed a little bit. I'm just a cop. They'll know more than me.
Why is it like is bleeping anything she says? You can only hear the cop talking? That's crazy to me.
Would you be okay if we pictures really quick before?
Butterfly, did you watch what Nerdy has? Is his like this too? I mean, I'm sure they're all the same, but normally they don't silence the victim in this way. Yeah, there's no point in having this out there if is this the way it is? Like
Hospital.
And of course, they never show her face. I can understand that, I guess, but not to even hear a word she says. And people pay for this.
We're gonna go up this way over here. Not this way. We're not going to go this way. We're going to go that way. Does that look like the Jeep over there?
Like every word she says is bleep. We'll go see if Nerdy's is any different. I can imagine Plunder bleeping out the victim because she never does stuff like that. But they had to pay for this body cam footage. Let's go pull up Nerdy's and see if it's the same way. That's a bit ridiculous. It seems to be the same as Plunder's. Wow. I've never seen it body cam like that, guys. To where you only hear the cop talking. That didn't come out of Florida. You can tell that. Florida's like, redaction? Nah, we don't know. Well, maybe. Nah, never mind. That's how. Okay, let's see.
Sheriff's office, we're going to be searching the room. If you're in there now, come out.
Call him.
You get her out.
I don't want him to sit in the car with traffic.
Yeah. Nope, you're good. All right, I'll talk to him.
So
I
wasn't
say
this,
it looks like it probably left.
wasn't this Washington? Maybe this, yeah, Washington, right? Maybe it's some of their laws there, Hawkeyes with their crazy
last-
reactions.
20 minutes, I would guess. About that car. Where's the manager here?
This is his phone number. I'll go. If you want to call him?
You get her out.
Yeah. I know who's sitting in the car. Tony. Everybody.
We took that one. Simi, we took Plunders down, and we have a Nerdy's. I don't know if his has got the same crazy beeping, but doesn't appear we can hear anything that Magnolia has to say in any of this. So it's like, well, what was it even for? It is rude beeping. How dare them be rude to my friend Simi? She's trying to listen without being freaked out.
Careful. I'm gonna go back to the ER already. We're going to talk with him, and then we're going to clear out. Okay.
No, I'm just a visitor.
He's manager. Yeah.
I just had the people pounding on my window this morning.
That was us.
No, it was the fire department.
Yeah, I was with them.
Oh,
That's why I said us.
So that car shows a male and female.
Okay. So it's not
getting out of
those.
it.
Okay.
So it's unrelated.
Okay.
So he probably
You did take it then?
left in their car last night.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't think so.
The code's been changed, right?
Yes.
You want to change their room door?
Yeah, I just didn't want to.
Right.
Yeah. You guys can work together on that. We're done now.
So he likely did take your car. Yeah. So we're. Do you know what time you?
The video doesn't show license plates very clear.
It's more just like,
Unfortunately, CSI has ruined people's understanding of how.
Start loading up our car. We're going over to my kid. Have everybody. They're like, there's no parking there, Mom. Come to my house.
But the
now I gotta haul
Port
all my
Authority
food and
in Seattle is working on getting.
Have a Merry Christmas.
So the port in Seattle is working on getting us a plate.
Yeah, we're talking to the rental company direct to get all that in. So don't worry about it. But yeah, dogs up.
I can't do anything about that.
So the best would be tomorrow when actually has a phone store.
do you remember your door code for the other door? This front door.
All right, we're gonna head out. Okay. Contacts you between now and 6. You know my number, but just call 911 if you know where he is.
Yeah.
This
It's 100 miles away.
He's what?
100 miles away, allegedly.
So this is pieced backwards compared to how Plunders is done. And I remember Nerdy saying that they had the different pieces of body cams and then he put them together for the video that for this video. So it's not exactly in the same order as we were seeing in the Plunder video. But still.
And then I move it home.
We don't see tire tracks anymore. So we drove past and we're like, whoa.
And they go up. See, it's the same. Wow.
What was he wearing when he left? Not this way over here. Not this way. We're not going to go this way. We're going to go that way. Does that look like the Jeep over there? Go with me. Go with them. Problematic. So we're just going to have to kind of just keep it for right now.
I'll keep my eye out.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hmm. One day he's not going to feel so untouchable when stuff finally catches up to him, right? You'd think, well, you think by now it would have, but some people can skate through life and do all kinds of stuff, and it seems like nothing ever happens, and then you make one little mistake and it's like the end of the world, right? But yeah, it's I don't know how to explain the thousands of people that sit in support of that man. And it just knowing what he's done in the past and what he's capable of doing, right? Should be enough to give you a red flag, but people want to believe in people. People want to believe. Some people have no idea about his many, 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 many Guinness Book of World Records, multiple lawsuits. No, none of that. And then they're learning about it. They're like, oh well, but by then they're already convinced he's a nice guy. So it's hard to go out and change people's minds, but it's hard to explain why thousands of people would sit there day in and day out and just can support blindly. It just want to go balls to the walls and support. It's weird. I don't know. No, we got somebody in chat who's here to support. Was anybody mocking, or we were just talking? We're having a conversation. Mocking would be like, isn't that making fun of, like, pretending to be him and then not, that kind of thing? We're talking facts about multiple lawsuits. That's kind of like a fact. You can look it up and Google it. It's all there. Actually, it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. So it's facts. It's out there.
I don't know. There's no timestamp on this. This is included with the.
That was Nerdy talking in the background, guys, on that video. Yeah, I mean, it is whatever. And if we wanted to make fun of somebody, I guess we could. We're not little children. If we do, it's all in good fun. They got the true boop. So this body cam stuff is weird though, guys.
The set of videos. I don't know if it's ambulance transport to the hospital.
I think that's what.
Or the cop transported to the hospital, and they had to record.
I think that's what Plunder said. It was the transport video.
It's like this is the transport, which they do to ensure integrity of their case, but we don't need to go through.
That's just the court stuff there. Now, that's like the most uneventful body cam I have ever watched or attempted to watch ever on the channel here, guys. Yeah, Hawkeyes, you think you that's like a lot of people, right? So you got to think, are they all in that same mindset, right? A lot of times, yeah. A lot of times, yeah. And you got to, that's what makes this. It's wild though that some people would. You can put something in someone's face though, and they're not see it, right? Or they're going to see it differently. So it's kind of like the ones who support hidden true crime. Is that what their name was? Yeah. After all this time, even after seeing the shady stuff they could be about, people still are like, and you got those people who have, I've been wronged all my life and I didn't get a fair shake. JLR deserves it. Kind of people. It takes all kinds of kinds, man. Let me see something here. Okay, I was just checking my messages. Yeah, HTC, she's all Mormon. There's a lot there. There's a lot with that girl. Hey, I was reviewing a Idaho 4 hearing earlier today when I was reviewing some of this broken police stuff. And in this particular hearing that I was watching, right there in the background, sitting there was Lauren, and right beside her was Grayson. And all I could think about was when they went for the, was it sentencing, or I think it was sentencing, when they went down there and had to fight for a seat on the for Koberger. But yeah, she was right there. I was like, oh, look, you couldn't miss her. And Grayson was sitting right beside her. I couldn't tell you anything going on with that HTC lady lately. But I am curious about the Trisha stuff. For sure. And I want to unpack some more about this Cyray truth line thing. I'll show you guys a little this thing, because it's going to be it has to be a longer dedicated show to just that, which I might wait and do that Monday. But oh shit, let me. Okay. Is this it? Yeah. He also has a course he teaches, preventing the plea. I was like, oh, that's an interesting course to take. Mister. Okay. So, like I said in the beginning of the show, he's going to be at the Europe Forensic Expo. And this is the book, and it's not a book like The Broken Plea, a book about the Idaho 4. It's called The Truth Line by Cyray, and it is an academic for people in the forensic data field, right? Validation, behavioral fusion, and the validation of evidence. It's the framework of the behavioral fusion. Whoa, it makes a little click noise, like a turning page noise. Right here. The Koberger investigation. Here, the Koberger investigation as a learning case. The Koberger investigation, the disconnection. This book is like $95, by the way, if you wanted to purchase it. The Koberger investigation, when an error is allowed to survive. Don't make me have to buy this damn $95 book. The Koberger investigation, the quiet lie at a scale. I want to, you know what? It'll eventually, people will start putting parts of it out there. The Koberger example, the missing timeline. Is that going to be dedicated to the 7 minutes? Because as a phone data person, that'd be me. I want to know more. On any given day, depending on which attorney I am, that could be my friend or my enemy, and I need to know more about it. Sigh on a soapbox, modern medicine. He gets on a soapbox a lot. I've seen his podcast. Koberger example. What could have been? Oh boy. The Koberger reality, when investigation becomes box checking. Oh, is that like tunnel vision? Or checked all the boxes, like you took all the important evidence, like the mat on the front porch next to the blood? Or what are we doing? See, Simi, that noise gets to me, that turning the page sound. I didn't expect it. It tripped me out. The timing data. Oh, goodness. And that's under the temporal windows section. The timing data. Okay. Koberger example, context. Choke point control. What is that? Tactical interviewing. Missed opportunities. The Koberger example. Missed opportunities under tactical interviewing. Why? This is intriguing. What kind of missed opportunities does he think were there? Authority without answers. That damn page again. So this is his layout of how they should be conducting their investigations. And his candor program is how they should be collecting and storing their evidence to be presented in court. Actually, it says that the Candor Suite is a platform designed to ensure digital evidence is trial ready. Behavioral fusion is an investigative discipline developed by Ray to bridge the gap between raw digital data, and human behavior. The truth line is a concept, and it serves as a guide for how evidence is collected and advanced to drive conclusions. That was an interesting way to put that to me. A concept that serves as a guide for how evidence is collected and advanced to drive conclusions that can withstand courtroom challenges. That's almost a little bit of a word salad situation. The Candor Suite is a multi-platform evidence governance system built for law enforcement and prosecutors. Unlike standard tools, its focuses on governance, controlling what evidence is permitted to become as it moves from investigation to trial. Interesting. Whoa. Like, as soon as I turned the page, I know it right there. It just jumped out at me, that name. I can just see, I can look at a page and see it. The problem in the Koberger case were not the result of missteps or careless errors. Deviation from disciplined process required sustained effort, coordination, and reinforcement over time. It demanded more work than adherence to a transparent ethical framework would have required. This was not malicious, but it was not accidental. The danger was not the case appeared weak. Not that the case appeared weak, the danger was that it appeared strong while becoming fragile. Oh, I need like a big old bucket of popcorn. Imagine a man guilty of these heinous crimes walking free, not because the evidence was insufficient, but because the process could not withstand scrutiny. Yay. Well, sorry, you got me on the fence about you at the moment, because that's right now the defense attorney and me is saying, you go, boy, go. Prosecutor's going, oh, shit. We can get him down to 100 feet. In that scenario, the system fails everyone. Most of all, it fails the surviving victims who are forced to endure doubt, delay, and relitigation that never needed to exist. Okay, we're going to have to put a whole show together on what Cyray's got to say here. Behavioral fusion did not appear as a sudden insight. It emerged the way real disciplines do, through error, collision, unlearning, and the refusal to accept what has always been done is still enough. Years later, when the call came about Koberger, I understood what was at stake. I had never testified for the defense in my career, not once. Well, that one time you was kept out of court. I did not seek it out, and I did not want it. Like I am blind, and that is like it's like it's small. I need to get this increased. Um, oh, he's talking about other cases that changed him before that. See, we'll have to read the whole thing. Years later, he understood it was a mistake. I had never testified for the defense. I already believed Koberger was guilty before I reviewed the evidence, and that belief only strengthened as I examined it. Really? When did you decide it was not that strong? But guilt and investigative integrity are not opposites. They must coexist. The truth does not belong to one side of the courtroom. When I agreed to assist, I knew I could not be paid. That was another thing. People are like, "Oh, he's doing this pro bono. He wouldn't be doing it, um, you know, uh, if he didn't believe in it because he's doing it for free. He's doing it pro." People who don't understand a lot of things may say that. That was the same people who would read a document and go, "Make it make sense," because they didn't understand a legal term. Go look it up. We have dictionaries and Google. He says, okay, the truth does not belong to one side of the courtroom. When I agreed to assist, I knew I could not get paid. That was not a gesture, it was a boundary. The pressure I felt was not financial, it was ethical. What I was confronting was not a choice between sides, but a realization that inaction was no longer a defensible position. I was defending the investigative process, not Brian Koberger. Hmm. He knew what the decision would cost him. He had spent decades building trust with investigators, prosecutors, analysts, and agencies across the world. I knew some would see my choice as betrayal. Some would turn away. Some would would quietly sever ties. And I took the step anyway, because the integrity of the discipline mattered more than my standing within it. So what he decided, okay, well, let me look at the case, and did he really legit believe there were problems? I think he honestly legit did, but they were so minute and small, and it was so technical, right? And the cell phone data part, because I read the documents where he talks about the problem. And the program that he created shows you there's a problem. That, see, he created it, there's the problem. And did you create that program after you got a glimpse of that secret FBI document they played takesy backsy with? I think you did, because I paid attention to everything you were saying. I was like, wait, that program was when, oh, and he said he got that FBI document when? Oh, damn, Cyray, are you sure you didn't make a copy and figure out that was advanced timing records that no one thought existed? Is that what happened? That's wild. Hmm. I don't know. Don't read chat. Why? What are you what are you doing in there, feral girl? Hey, Pammy. Simmy. That page turning sound was getting to me. Look, watch. Does it do it? Oh, see? Like I didn't ask for all that extra. Like, why did they even put that in there? Like, why? It's like, stop it. It's like you know it's coming and you can't hit the mute button, right? You gotta just put up with that shit. I need to learn more behavioral fusion, what it is. Okay, we're gonna definitely dive into this truth line document. I want to. I hope y'all want to do that with me. Y'all want to do that with me? It sounds like a fart, Simi. Uh, okay, maybe. Maybe. It's not even a real book, Butterfly says. They want you to get that it's about the experience, Butterfly. We'll just turn the page and make it sound like you turned to the page. You can get that experience, right? Like, why can't you just read it out loud to me? Then I don't even got to pretend I turned to the page. When y'all read it out loud, does it say, turning the page now? Makes that noise. It's better than the beeping. Correct. Y'all correct. I will take the little swiping sound over that strange beeping. You know what bothers me the most? And we have to hear it in all the body cam, the police beeping that goes on in the background. Bum, bum, like why? Why? What is the entire point of that? What is the whole entire fucking point? Let's look at this. Okay. Look at that thing. Did you see this shape? Like, look at that. This is wild. This is the UAP video that is out now. Some of them. But look at that. Isn't that wild? Just the shape alone is crazy. Is that what it's doing, Pammy's indicating that it's still recording and that everybody's aware of it? We are completely aware there's strange sound, aren't we? Simi. That's crazy. Yeah, Rachel, that's what Pammy's saying. That's always it's you could always tell it was part of their equipment because it's always in all the body cams, right? It's in all of them. But damn, is it annoying to me because sometimes it comes out, it's like loud, crazy loud. All right, y'all see the image yet on the screen? Do y'all, isn't that crazy the way it looks? kind of trail is it leaving? Look, it's like it's drawing a picture, like a etch a sketch. The way that thing is shaped is it's so intriguing to me. We do not know what we're looking at. We're looking at a UFO. Butterfly. The image on the screen is you can see it as moving around as the video is playing, but that is an unidentified flying object. One of their verified cases that they've released in the new video. So we got UFO files were released. There's a whole website set up. The Department of War slash UFOs, alien, I forget what it's actually called. But this is from the website. But yes, this is some of the new images that came down with it. But this one is just really crazy. For geometry standpoint, do you know what I mean? It is wild. This is, I don't know for sure where this one was taken. There's no sound with this at all. This is the, so there's a couple of 30-minute videos out there. This one says May 8th. This is just today's files, right? So it's a compilation. This is just a compilation of different UFO footages within the files that were released today. So this is one of them. It's definitely got a trail. You can see it. Yeah, I don't know where this particular video was taken, what country, where if it was taken from another aircraft, from a boat, where or how it was done. But there's different ones like, oh, see how it just took off? There's images from the moon as well, different photos. There's just so much in these documents to look at. This is a video I just grabbed off of that was released. Do y'all believe the UFOs, like maybe not aliens, but there's maybe like an unidentified flying objects out there that they're just nothings, freak things coming through the sky? Or do you really believe there could be something out there? I've always believed there's something out there. We can't really be the only ones, and what else can explain all this stuff that's been flying around forever, right? Okay, there goes something. There goes that. Now watch this thing. Like, what is that? All of a sudden, the lights, it went into like two separate light things. This is crazy what it does and doesn't do. All of it, Pammy, because this is a compilation of the videos that are being released. This isn't just one video of one sighting. This is a compilation of all of them. And I got another one that's 30 minutes long, but it has music in the background that I have to mute out, or I'll get in trouble with the YouTubes. But this one's being shared on Twitter quite a bit. um, this particular one, because of the way this object seemed to change. So to me, a lot of them are gonna look fake because of the stupid cameras. It's like people on their crappy ass Nest cameras and Ring cameras, well, they're all shitty. So are these cameras that they give out to wherever. We've never had a clear-cut image of a spacecraft, right? It's just bad enough for people to not quite know. Oh, the Christmas ornament looking thing. It did look fake, but I don't know. Them aliens do some weird shit. So I don't think it was fake though. Now, you would think if someone faked it, right, and sent it into the government thoroughly investigated it, they'd be able to say, hey, that was a fake. Because I think they have been able to do that in the past. Hell, we had sightings in Gulf Breeze, Florida that went on for a couple of years. It was a pretty damn big deal. There were people that came and investigated it and everything, and it was crazy. Everybody was seeing damn UFOs for a hot minute every time we turned around. And there was videos of that, and all that was looked at like nobody's business. Now, of course, with today's methods, you can fake a lot of things a lot quick, like with the AI and stuff like that. I think with a lot of these cameras are so far. Look at that thing scooting by. They're so far away. We're lucky we even get cameras, right? A lot of times. It's almost like the aliens and the Bigfoots, they know that we're coming with our cameras. They distort them somehow. They got a little gadget in their pocket, like a Some of these cameras are probably so fucking far away it would blow our mind.
Hotel Alpha
Right?
Alpha, call behind East 132.12. 132.12, Hotel Alpha.
Where do you think this camera's located? Their movements are bizarre. It makes you wonder why they move in the pattern they're choosing to move in. It's like, why? What are you mapping something there? What are you doing? That's my, like, yeah, it's weird that you're moving around, but why are you moving around like that, right? I want to know why. That's always been my biggest thought. Not as, oh, is that real, or is that like if when I was a little girl, why is it moving like it's moving? Why is it hovering right there? Why is it doing a pattern grid thing almost, over these particular locations? That always intrigued me. Yeah, satellite view. Exactly. So think about how far what they can see that far away. They're probably working on trying to get even better and better and better. But military application and civilian application are completely different things, right? We don't get their technology until they're done with it. Once they get better, then we get then we get what's they got. When they're done with it, we get it, and we're like, "Oh, look, this is nice and new," and they're like, "Look, idiots." And humans are audacious enough to think we're the only ones. I've never thought that. My mama always told me we weren't. Like, she didn't like tell me, aliens are real and all that. We never really had like discussions. I was never a Star Wars or fan or none of that stuff. But my mom always said aliens were real. Why not? And I believed her, and hell, I'm pretty sure she was right. From my from my own investigation. You know what, Butterfly? I've never been afraid of the aliens. I don't know why. Even when you were a little kid and you hear the alien stories, and there were sightings in the 70s when I was a kid. There was Travis's story was out there. The kidnapped people were like beamed up by the UFOs, and there were stories out there. The Green Martian men, whatever made anybody think they were bad to begin with, just because they were green and to look different. Is that what we're basing that on? Did they come here and they do harm? So how do we know they're even bad, right? How do we know their intentions are even bad? How do we not know anything? Who's to say they didn't help give mankind a lot of knowledge, a lot of vast knowledge they were supposed to do only good with? But that didn't play out quite like that. There were some men who decided to do a lot more with that knowledge, right? Evil. Maybe it was getting out of hand, and the aliens were like, okay, y'all are done. Y'all done made atomic bombs and done all kind of weird shit. Where are we going? Where are we going? Slimy's going somewhere and y'all are jumping on board. Come get me. The Mayans, right, Butterfly? Hey, there's stuff to that. So I love to watch about the Mayans, actually. Yeah, the movies about the crazy aliens, right? Everybody to be afraid of the aliens, what they will do to you. Right, Simi, they ride by on their little Jetson car, and they're like, "Oh, look at the little human monkeys. What they're doing today." It's wild because they haven't started wars with us, right? They haven't, but man has. Man has started many wars. We haven't seen a war, but they haven't come yet for us. They might come for us eventually. But so far, they seem to just come check us out and leave us alone, right? Or they're doing something. Obviously, they're doing something. But they're gathering intelligence on the unintelligent. How about that? They're gathering intelligence, and they're like, man, we gave them this vast knowledge, and look what the hell they've done with it. That's right, Hawkeyes. They want to teach peace to the stupid humans. If you go back and look at, even if you get into a really good Uh, Go binge watch some of the Ancient Aliens, especially the part where it ties into the Egyptians, and even going back to the pyramids and the drawings. You will see little spaceships in the drawings. Now, why in the hell would the Egyptians be drawing images of little spaceships and Martians? Because they saw them. That's how long they've been around. To the point where they were memorialized, right, in their history. That's crazy. There's a whole series on just that part of it that I found to be really fascinating. Um, Listening to the experts talk and seeing how they compare the different things, and then you can you come to your own conclusions when they do it that way, right? Instead of saying, "Here's what we want you to know, and here's how you know," they show you how they, and it's like, wow. Now that's why my cousin's like, I can't watch any more of this because it was too real, right? I was like, it ain't just some smoke they're trying to blow out their ass. It's like makes you think, and then some people find that terrifying. It's the what ifs. Right. Don't stop here. Ethel, get back in the car. It's not safe down there, Ethel. It is not safe. Don't go down there. It's wild though. So this is just like I said, this is part of the video of what they've seen out there. There's another video too. Let me pull up this article quick before we do go. Let me see, because I think it had the. Because I got to go through the files and find where all the images are. I just started going through it like one by one, just page by page, because I thought I don't want to skip over shit. Okay, so this is what Apollo 17 could see or saw, allegedly. If we even went to the moon, allegedly. We did. Depends on who you talk to. Okay, 1972 Apollo 17 astronauts went on their mission to the moon, but until Friday, the majority of the world did not know what the three men witnessed on their mission, such as lights that lit up the atmosphere like the 4th of July. A transcript released by the Department of Defense read in part, "The document is an excerpt from the Apollo 17 Technical Air-to-Ground Voice Transcript, December 1972, highlighting 3 periods in which the astronauts reported observing unidentified phenomenon: a 9-minute period on the first day, a 3-hour period on the second day, and a 6-minute period on the third day." The document was part of the Pentagon's release Friday of never before seen files on the UFOs, aka unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAPs. So this blue is the lights. An archival photo from Apollo 12 landing site showing the lunar surface and an unidentified object. Huh? Okay, there's the lights. This one is an image from the lunar surface at the landing site, showing an unidentified phenomena above the horizon. Some crazy blue lights, okay? Apollo 17 documented continued to explain the observations the astronauts claimed to have seen. During day one, the mission command module pilot Ronald Evans reported observing very bright particles or fragments drifting and tumbling near the spacecraft. And I heard audio of that earlier. Lunar module pilot Harrison Jack Schmidt describes the phenomenon looking as like the 4th of July. So I guess while they're up there on the moon, the aliens are like, what are y'all doing up here? On day 2 of the mission commander Eugene Cernan reported that he had difficulty sleeping and saw streaks of intense light that he deemed not to be an optical illusion, and compared the light's intensity to that of a train headlight and characterized it as imposing. It was a big imposing light in the middle of the space where it's dark. I guess it's dark. It's in space. Any bright light would be wow. Photos from the moon capture unidentified objects on the horizon. On the 3rd day of the mission, the report stated that Schmitz observed a flash on the lunar surface north of the crater. Included in the UFO files are photos from the lunar surface showing unidentified objects. And when they first got back or were reporting this, back, I wonder when the first time the U.S. actually realized, holy shit, there's somebody else out there, for real. When was the very first time that they were like, you know what, this is real? Harvard professor Loeb told News Nation that one possible explanation for the photos from the lunar surface could be from the asteroids, but notes the release of the files brings legitimacy to the research. Lord, they're always going to try to figure out, here we come with I got an explanation for that, people, right? After all these decades of confidential, sealed files and records they've been investigating, of course, now that you saw it, Mr. Professor Loeb, you have an explanation. Well, if they'd have just contacted you 45, 50 years ago, we wouldn't be sitting here now. I just fucking love it. This opens subject to scientific inquiry and investigation and serious discussion rather than ridicule. Well, yeah, this open subject. Instead of ridiculing those who might believe, this warrants serious discussion, y'all. And we do discuss and cuss here. We got to put on your serious face. He said this warrants a serious investigation and discussion, so we're going to do that. When you look at his face and you can no longer keep a straight face, I have to laugh right along with his little giggle. All right. The Pentagon's began releasing a trove of never before seen files, videos, and photos. Yes, there's the website right there, guys. The files are being released on a rolling basis at war.gov/UFO. And if you click it, it takes you straight to the website. See? This is the photos. You can click through a series of photos on the website. It tells you at the top, release 1. If you scroll down, it gives you information about it. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. That was a post on Truth Social by Donald J. Trump. And there's the directive in response to the president. Cleared for release May 8th, 2026. And then there's where they start the files, right? And then you just click one, and then it goes down. So this was how some of them will look, right? This one is just an image of this, and it's just an envelope, okay? Then this one was the same thing. And what it was, it was just a, like when they had a call that came in and it gave you the date and time, but there was really no information on that particular thing. Is that the same one again? There's some letters in here. I think it goes down like to the section 5. Let me go. Why is it doing that? Hold on. Let me check something. See, there's one that says confidential at the top. There's a letter. This is not open on my normal PDF, so I can't make it like work like I normally would. But there's a lot of information in there. I'm going to look through a lot of it. I'm sure we'll have some shows to talk about some of the stuff that's in there. There you go. There's the Google Doc right there. That Butterfly just dropped the link for you guys. Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP Encounters, the Department of War. But there's a shit ton of stuff out there to review. If you're a believer, you're going to be dove in. I'm skeptical. I don't know. I feel like they're out there. There's a lot of unexplained things throughout my entire lifetime, right? That I've seen and witnessed, not like personally, but just everywhere in the media and all the different experiences people have had. And of course, I didn't know if I wanted to believe all those alien abduction tales that came out for it seemed to be like a fad there for a while. But to actually believe, yeah, I've always believed there's a real possibility they're out there. Something's out there. Oh, you mods did great tonight, by the way. Thank you. Thank you guys for being you and doing what you do. Well, fortunately, we don't have a bunch of BS to put up with around here all the time. It is usually a pretty cool chat. Pretty cool. Well, I'm going to be digging into these files a little bit here and there. There's some of the communications. There were people in the 1960s who were concerned, and I've made a couple of notes too, that were concerned about UFOs and how the Air Force, who was in charge of investigating UFO sightings, didn't seem to be very forthcoming with the public, right? So the public began to push back as early as the mid 60s, from what I've seen with the government, on you're not being transparent, and we want independent public oversight, more or less. And look how long it's taken. Well, now we got a handful of missing scientists on top of that. So I don't know if I want to dive in or not. We will, but we'll keep it a secret. We won't let the government know we're looking. We don't want to be the next abduction. So a lot of people being abducted lately that cannot be found. So I don't advise anybody to go to be a victim of abduction. That seems to be the number one crime unsolved in America today are abducted people who go missing, who are never found. That means everybody who ever abducted them is walking around free too. So there's a lot of abductors out there. Think about it like that in those terms. We need code words. We damn sure do. We do. Pammy, nobody's questioning things here. Look that way. Ah, we just take whatever you give us and we, like good little children, we just play with it. Nah, not always. We got accused of that, but we don't always. And then also got me wanting to live in the flesh and go into the drama of it all and find out what's up Trisha's ass. All right. Shoot me that email, Hawkeyes. saltysleuth@gmail.com. Let's do this thing. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm hungry. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to eat. I'm going to veg out, take a THC gummy, watch TV. I don't want to read anything while I'm laying because I'll fall asleep. I'm just going to like lay there and listen to something. After what's his name, Turby does that interview in a couple of days, we'll talk about that. If anything pops off between now and Monday, of course we'll come back on, we'll do a show, and we'll talk about it. Any breaking news. There's nothing in the Guthrie case. Now, coming up this week, I believe it is actually Tuesday, if my dates aren't wrong. Well, I better check. I think it's this Tuesday is the next Pima County Board of Commissioners meeting. We may hear a little bit more about nanos. So we'll see if anything else comes out news-wise. The one thing that did happen since I have seen you guys last, because remember I didn't stream for 2 days when I wasn't feeling good, but the Brian Enton CW show did happen. And wow, what is that? Did y'all see that? Hawkeyes sent some, like, look, when I look down at, I have the chat pulled up on my phone, Hawkeyes, because Restream is crazy. So I always have you guys pulled up on the phone, and when I looked down, there was this giant heart on the phone. What, she sent a Happy Mother's Day sticker or jewel thing, or what, little jewel gift thing. I just read up more about that, and these are really designed for the vertical lives. So they're also doing it for this too. So thank you for that. That was super cool the way that showed up like that, right? That is so neat. And Pammy sent a clapping seal. That is so cool. What are you guys doing here? The Mother's Day. Those are nice. Thank you for that. Yes, new YouTube things. But they have a notification now in the creators channel. My back door to my YouTube channel thingy here. Anyway, there's a video back there, an article. So it was something to do with you know how the TikTok things work or whatever. This is their YouTube's version of that, I guess, and it's more going to be geared to the vertical lives. You know, I haven't done one of those vertical lives. I can do it from my phone. I was going to do one the other day, like a test run, like, hey guys, who's out there? Does this sound right? But the last time I went on anybody's live panel and I was on my phone, everybody said I sound crackly. But when I'm on my actual cell phone talking to people, it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with my phone or my speaker or anything, microphone, nothing. But when I was on live panels from my phone, that's what I was hearing, that I sounded crazy. So I don't know. I might do one to see if you guys, how you guys can hear me and all the things. I don't know if there's any benefit to doing one except I could just sit outside and talk shit. Can't present a lot of things, like I can in studio here. And I've kind of felt bad lately because I have had some guests like Mr. Steve. We've had Keith on several times. I get Butterfly up here, and my guests always show their face, and I don't. And I was like, is that rude? Because I don't want to be live on camera. I'm just not that girl. I don't give a flying F. I don't want, and I made the decision to use the avatar because of the doxing in the space that was going on with the Idaho and the Delphi of it all a couple years back. If you aren't on my side, we'll dox you. And that still happens in a lot of cases, and still one case it happens to this day. But I didn't, my family is not a part of all this. But with all that said, I have thought about it. And at best, I could put a picture of myself up there. I won't be on here live. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not. My face is a dead ass giveaway no matter what's being said. If we're watching a trial or if we're watching a hearing, or my face. And sometimes maybe I don't want to do nothing but put on my gown and throw my hair up and sit here with coffee and getting. No, I'm not stressed. You know what I'm saying? At best, you might get a picture. You want to see the cat? The cat. Ava, where did she go, actually? Oh, now she's laying over there like she's pretending to be this cool, soft, cuddly kitty. That is not this cat, okay? Don't let her fool you. She's the total opposite. She heard me. She's like, don't tell lies on me, lady. Don't do it. I'll have to get a picture of her, send me, and put it up. I do. She's really a cool cat, but she's selective. She's ornery at times. She's not exactly the what trips me out about this cat. I can be laying in the bed, right? And I remember the first time she ever did it, I didn't know what the hell she was doing, because it was my my son had this cat at his dad's, so I never had the cat, right, until he brought the cat to me. Anyway, she comes up to me slowly, and she gets right beside me, and she ever so slowly lifts her leg up, and her paw goes toward me, but in the slowest motion you've ever seen. And I'm like looking at this cat and not making a move. What the fuck is this cat about to do? Like, it is the slowest thing you've ever seen coming at you, this little paw. She did it to my sister one time. My sister's like, what is wrong with that cat? I'm like, that's just her. She comes at you like she doesn't want to scratch you or paw you, so she comes as gently as she can. It's funny. Yeah, this one will, Butterfly. This cat will literally scratch your eye out. Ask the dog. I told when I ordered the new cat scratching pole thingy she can climb earlier. I was telling my son his puppy ran across the room and jumped up in his lap. I said, look, you'd never know your dog only had one eye. He said, I know, you can't even tell because they both look black now, because her eyes are like super dark black. So you can't tell she lost an eye. It still looks like she has an eye. It's the craziest shit. So yeah, if you're unaware of what we're talking about, my cat took out my son's puppy's eye. But it's all good. I still got one more payment left on that damn dog's eye. I can't forget it. That fucking dog cost me money, man. But hey, at least the vet fixed her up that night. So it's all good now. Tonight I did show my new glowing mask on Rock. Ooh, you got one of those? You got the infrared therapy? You have to let me know how that is. You showed it on Rock's channel? What is the name of Rock's channel again, Hawkeyes? It's been a minute since I've been over there. I don't even get notifications for when she. Y'all know what? I don't get a lot of notifications for hardly anybody anymore. Actually, it feels like I get a lot of news notifications on YouTube. Why is that? I wonder. Now that I think about it. Probably because I haven't watched anybody's streams in a long, long time. Slow mo SWAT. I'm about to get a video of it, Simi, because it is so intentionally slow. And she's not declawed or anything. She's got some deadly ass weapons. Obviously, she took the puppy's eye out, but she comes in so slow. There you go. Thank you, Butterfly. I'll have to go check that out. Always wondered how those felt, if they work. You know what I mean? That'll go viral as a short. Yeah, it probably would, wouldn't it? People do love their cat videos, don't they? Okay, so now I gotta get her to. All I gotta do is go lay on my bed and ignore her for a few minutes, right? Like get my phone in my hand. That's when she does it. When I'm in bed and I'm like ready to go to bed and I'm all cozied in and I got the phone in my hand, that's when she comes because she wants me to put the phone down and love on her, right? Hell yeah. Well, she'll Bruce Lee you. This might look. She out of the blue, she'll just like she'll swat you. She doesn't do it with me anymore. Well, I've learned a couple of things not to do around this cat because it freaks her out and she doesn't know what's happening, so she just reacts, right? And when she does react, it's like ka-chow, and she's done got you. Well, when I was at my sister's for a few months, and she found out the hard way. She walks into my room one day and made a sudden move. The cat happened to be and the cat liked my sister, but she made a sudden move. The cat didn't like it, and the cat fired back. And oh man, my sister was not happy. She like cried in pain for hours. That was painful. I'm over here going, holy shit! It was I know it hurts, but come on, girl. Hawkeyes, you and me both. That's why I'm saying if it works, let me know because I need all the help I can get too. But hey, sometimes I care. Sometimes I don't go many places, but I don't know. That is why you will only get a picture of me in the future. Being on camera is just too much work. I feel like there's a lot going on that I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do. Sometimes you don't want to do nothing. I'll put my picture up soon. Okay. All right, guys. Y'all go get a late night snack. Go do all that. Get ready for bed. Um, oh, the cat's now she's gonna play. I'm gonna go to bed. She's gonna play. I'm gonna go watch TV. She'll probably come over there and bother me. All right, I'm gonna be looking through some of these documents over the weekend, putting some other things together to come up with for next week's shows. Um, Tomorrow we might just come on here and kick it. Hawkeyes, you gonna be around tomorrow night? I don't being on camera wouldn't bother me, Hawkeyes. I just don't. I don't have a need to be. Does that make sense? Do you know if that makes sense? And I don't always want to have to feel like not act. That's the wrong word. Like be wondered, do I look okay? You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm just like whatever. I'm just like, oh yeah, throw my hair up. I don't go places. I'm at home chilling, but I don't mind putting my picture up. But it ain't like I would put up a glamour shots kind of stupid ass picture. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if this thing would let me change my picture while I'm actually on here. I'll put together shorts. You know what, Simi? I was thinking the other day, I have not been doing shorts or videos. Like, I got really laxed on those, especially the more streaming that I was doing. It takes time and effort to do those videos. It even shorts sometimes, and it's like, it's a lot. But the shorts are fun. But I don't know why. I was doing really good about them for a while, and then just nothing. They were all true crime related, of course. Trolls are mean about looks. Yeah, well, that's true. There's a lot of trolls out there that. Oops, I don't know if it'll let me. What is this doing? Oh, it'll let me change it in a minute. Yeah. Slow mo SWAT. People get distracted too by a lot of things. Y'all be looking in the background, like there's nothing in my background but like a coffee pot thing right there and some pictures. Like none of that matters to me, right? Like what the person looks like and what's in the backgrounds, all those to me that a lot of times that background stuff can be distracting. And then people are just talking about all that instead of the, you know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of it's distracting, but it feels rude when I have a guest on that's showing their face, right? That's the only time I thought about it was when I had Mr. Steve on and when I had Keith on and they're showing their face and I'm not. I'm like, wait a minute, is that rude? That's where I came from with that. I really don't give a flying fuck. I mean, I've heard other creators literally go on their live streams and discuss true crime in the same breath tell you true crimers are grifters. And if people don't cam up, you shouldn't trust them. Well, baby girl, or you cam up all the time and people know they can't trust you. So what, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter to me. I don't My only thought behind always using an avatar was I didn't want to get doxxed and my family drugged through anything that I was doing online, right? Because it was happening in two high profile cases I was a part of. Like legit was the reason why I made the decision. So I've always kept it, and I'm truly that lady who does not care, right? I'm going to walk out the front door. I'm going to be presentable. If I were to show my face online, I'm going to be presentable, but you ain't getting the beauty pageant queen. But the only thing that made me think about showing my face was the fact that my guest was, and I thought that was rude. right? That I didn't. It's not rude, butterfly. Because I mean, I don't. Like I said, I will show a picture of myself. I don't mind. I'm not ashamed of the way I look. You know what I mean? It ain't that. It's not that at all. Not at all. Right. Your my peace is more important than the need to see your face. Yeah. But some people like really connect with that being able to see the person too versus not seeing them. I've never really had a issue with it here. I've never had anybody come in and get upset that I don't show my face, or never had a anybody question me about it. You know what I mean? Simi says, I wear my fuzzy slippers to Walmart. I give zero shits. Amen, sister. I don't wear the slippers. My kids won't let me. Mom, you realize you're gonna get dressed, right? We're leaving the house. Like, yes. Look, I'm so bad. Like if I go, like, well, the cats notice now, but for years when I had my dog, not my son's dog in there, but my dog, if I went to the closet to take out a pair of jeans, my dog knew I was going somewhere, and she would get nervous because I didn't leave the house. That was back during the height of my PTSD challenge, and I literally wasn't going anywhere if I could help it. Um, and if I got out my clothes, my dog knew I was going somewhere because this girl stayed in the most comfy things she could possibly get her hands on, and she never left the house. And I do that now. I gotta be cozy and comfy at all times. Do not come at me with all them stuffy ass clothes you want me to wear, society, because that's ridiculous. I'm the comfort queen. Uh-uh. But I'm gonna look presentable when I go out the door. Mama did raise me right. That's right. Simi says I'm 63, but my mama's still the boss. Yes, I'm almost there. I'm just a few years behind you, Simi. All right, guys. Will y'all go get you a snack, get all cozied up? It rained here all day. Like it rained a lot all day. And then at one point, I was sitting here and there's this big flash of light outside my window, and almost immediately, this loud clap of thunder. And my son messages me and says, oh, there's reports of big hail up around the house. I'm like, not here. There's a big report of thunder and lightning out of the window, though, and a bunch of rain, but no hail. That's my report. But I think the rain has passed. All right, guys, y'all know what I say about them YouTube streets and social media streets, all the streets. That's right, send me your clothes is clean. That's all it matters, right? My shit's comfy and clean. Right now, I am wearing my. I just looked down to see what am I wearing. I am wearing actually my black and white publicly buzzed T-shirt. You know the one with the skeletons there hanging out in the bar drinking. That one. I love that one. And it is paired with my very comfortable cotton black and white pants. I match. I fucking match at least black and white. And I'm representing the publicly buzzed merch. It's a very comfy little shirt and it fits me. I'm petite. And I got the small one and it actually freaking fits. And it's held up well through multiple washes. There you go, Steve. Y'all running over there and get you some of that merch. It held up nicely. I won mine on the prize wheel. Oh, goodness. All right, guys. I'm wearing PJs. I'm about to crawl into my PJs and right over there into that bed. Like, I don't have far to go. All right. All right, guys. Yeah, I don't have any plan. My son, y'all, my I was about to say my oldest son, because I have 4 kids, 2 girls, 2 boys. The oldest boy, he just had a birthday yesterday, but anyway, birthday celebrations are all over with. So I don't. They all have plans tomorrow. I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. I'm chilling here at the house. So I will come back on at some point tomorrow. Um, we might just have a gossip tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, Butterfly's got her one as well. Did you get the same one or did you get a different print? I can't remember which one you chose. Did you have one or two? I feel like you got a couple of prizes at different times when you got on the prize wheel. All right, guys, y'all go stay safe out there on them streets. Y'all get a good night's rest, and I'll see you back here probably sometime tomorrow evening.
Thank you all for watching this here video. Please like and subscribe.